Hey everyone, ever heard of Robert Hooke? Don't sweat it if you haven't, most people haven't. He lived in the shadow of history's big shots, but what he did for science is huge. Hooke was a true Renaissance man, a master of many things. He was an architect, an astronomer, an engineer, you name it. Today we're going to travel back in time and put the spotlight on this forgotten hero of science. We owe a lot of our modern world to Hooke's groundbreaking work. He laid the groundwork for our understanding of elasticity, something used in everything from bridges to airplanes. He opened our eyes to the microscopic world, showing us the hidden wonders of cells and insects. Hooke was a true trailblazer, always pushing the limits of what we know. Robert Hooke was born on a small island in England in 1635. Even as a kid, he was super curious and loved to tinker. He loved taking things apart and putting them back together, always wanting to know how things worked. After his dad passed away, young Robert moved to London, a bustling hub of learning and discovery. In London, Hooke went to Westminster School, where he aced math and mechanics. He later studied at Oxford University, diving deep into the world of science and philosophy. It was during this time that he met other scientific rock stars like Robert Boyle, forming partnerships that would change the course of scientific history. One of Hooke's biggest contributions to science was his discovery of what we now call Hooke's law. This simple but powerful law explains how springs and other stretchy materials act under pressure. Basically, it says that the force needed to stretch or squeeze a spring depends on how much you stretch or squeeze it. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's a really big deal. Hooke's law is key to our understanding of elasticity, a property found everywhere in nature and used a lot in engineering and design. Without it, we wouldn't have cars, airplanes, or tons of other inventions that rely on springs and other stretchy materials. Imagine a world without microscopes, a world where the tiniest creatures and the most intricate structures were hidden from our eyes. Robert Hooke changed all that. He was a master of lenses and light, and he used his skills to build some of the most powerful microscopes of his time. In 1665, Hooke published his masterpiece, a book called Micrographia. This groundbreaking work was full of amazing drawings of the microscopic world, showing the intricate details of insects, plants, and even everyday things like needles and fabric. Hooke's observations opened up a whole new world of scientific exploration, paving the way for the development of modern biology and medicine. Section 5. Gazing at the cosmos, Hooke's astronomical pursuits. Robert Hooke's curiosity had no limits. He wasn't satisfied with just exploring the microscopic world. He also turned his attention to the stars, eager to unlock the secrets of space. He made important contributions to astronomy, especially in the study of the moon and the planets. Hooke was one of the first to suggest that the craters on the moon were made by impacts, an idea that is now widely accepted. He also made detailed observations of Mars, trying to figure out how long it took to rotate. His astronomical work, although often overshadowed by his other achievements, shows the breadth of his scientific interests and his never-ending quest for knowledge. Section 6. An ingenious mind, Hooke's inventions. Robert Hooke wasn't just a scientist, he was also a gifted inventor, always coming up with new gadgets and contraptions. His inventions covered a wide range of areas, from timekeeping devices to instruments for scientific research. One of his most important inventions was the balance spring, a vital part of mechanical watches that made them much more accurate. Hooke also designed and built a variety of scientific instruments, including improved air pumps, barometers, and hygrometers. These instruments allowed him and his fellow scientists to conduct more precise experiments, leading to new discoveries in physics, chemistry, and meteorology. Hooke's inventions were a testament to his ingenuity and his ability to turn scientific ideas into practical applications. Section 7. The heart of the Royal Society. In 1660, a group of like-minded individuals, including Robert Hooke, got together to start the Royal Society of London for improving natural knowledge. This organization, dedicated to advancing scientific understanding, would become one of the most respected scientific societies in the world. Hooke played a crucial role in the early success of the Royal Society. As the Society's curator of experiments, he was in charge of designing and conducting experiments at their weekly meetings. His demonstrations were legendary, showcasing the latest discoveries in mechanics, optics, and other fields. Hooke's energy and passion were contagious, inspiring his fellow scientists and helping to establish the Royal Society as a leading centre of scientific inquiry. Section 8. A rivalry for the ages, Hooke versus Newton. The history of science is full of rivalries, and one of the most famous is the one between Robert Hooke and Isaac Newton. Both men were brilliant scientists, but their personalities and ways of approaching science clashed. Their rivalry, fueled by ego and ambition, played out in the pages of scientific journals and in the hallowed halls of the Royal Society. The biggest bone of contention between Hooke and Newton was the nature of gravity. Hooke believed that he had been the first to come up with the inverse square law of gravitation, a law that Newton would later make famous in his Principia Mathematica. Newton, for his part, downplayed Hooke's contributions and accused him of stealing his ideas. The rivalry between these two titans of science had a huge impact on the development of physics and continues to fascinate historians today. Section 9. The enduring legacy of Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke passed away in 1703, his health failing after a lifetime of tireless work. Despite his many contributions to science, he died a somewhat bitter man, his rivalry with Newton casting a long shadow over his achievements. In the centuries since his death, Hooke's legacy has been re-evaluated, and his rightful place among the greats of science is gradually being restored. Today, Hooke is remembered as a true polymath, a master of many disciplines who made groundbreaking discoveries in fields as diverse as physics, biology, and astronomy. His inventions and discoveries continue to shape our world, and his spirit of inquiry and innovation serves as an inspiration to scientists and inventors today. Robert Hooke may have been an unsung hero of science, but his legacy is finally getting the recognition it deserves.